Yeah, I'm excited. It's been a year and a half. It's been such a great year. This is the year that I began back traveling all around Japan domestically. So I'm happy about that. I hope my content can reflect that, and all fun things. Let's see. The boy Eric says, "Yo, Wes, how's your day? It's good. Just a whole ton of work and then editing and such. I'm thinking about after I do some streaming here to maybe go, hey, the 4CBS, thanks for the donut again. All the generosity is not forgotten. It's madly appreciated, and it goes directly into all my domestic travels. That hopefully leads to more exciting content. But we will see in the months to come how people like my content. My content recently has been more of my memories of the past year, and then a little bit more into like my current thoughts on the current state of some of Japan's social political elements. Matt Funko Pops and Shea Butter, thanks for the gifts. The Kappa and hey, Matt Funko Pops reaching a new level of my members on my team. Mad love, boss. It's appreciated. So good looking out. And yeah, Narciso, it's tricky to do the work and also post your work social media from your clients. I understand that. It's also not all clients are all that thrilled to have their work shared. So I don't know. It's a gray area. I wish I had better advice on that. But I think you find a pretty solid work social balance at some point. Matt Funko Pops, number three gifter, you absolute boss, says, yo back. Hope you're doing well. And thank you as always for dropping by. This is a pretty rare, unique time for me to be going live. I haven't really done this before around 5:30, just because usually around now in Japan I'm always either just at work. Taiwala travels. Thank you, appreciate your gifts. As always, the Bears. It's great to see you here, as you know. But yeah, that's the reasons why I haven't gone. So we'll see if I can connect with a lot of y'all. And so far, I see some familiar faces. Shea Butter, thanks again for the gifts. Hey, it means more to me than you know. Kendrick, number one gifter, legend and a half, says, take those. I've had them forever and never got rid of them. Okay, heck yes, my friend. Very, very, very appreciated for the TikToks. Mad love. It means a lot and it's not forgotten. I remember more icons and usernames from here than you all might know. I remember icons and usernames on TikTok Live more than I remember the names of real people I meet at parties for the first time. I don't know what it is, but that's the way my mind works. Chase says, when are you heading back to Japan? That's going to be early February. I have one more month essentially in Southern California, just seeing family because who knows the next time I'll be back. During the pandemic, I was really kind of stuck in Japan. I did love it and I was happy there, but you never know what the future holds. So if I do have a rare opportunity to connect with family and stuff, such. Nordic Spice, thanks for the roses. You're back. It's great to see you. Anyway, I'm going to harness it, strike while the iron's hot, like I like to hear and say. But yeah, then thanks for asking, Chase. Taiwala, number one gifter. Thanks again. Says jumping in quickly before I head out to a family event. Cheers, man. Have a blast and a half. Just on the topic of family, I think being away from family really helps you appreciate them a ton and the things you might miss out when you are away. So hopefully that is something I can capture in my content too. Shea Butter, thanks for the 2024 gifts. And here you say, perfect, you're the number two gifter. I says, I love what you do and thank you for the information and videos. Cheers, I love your energy. Good looking out. And that means more to me than you know. It's great motivation, goes above and beyond to motivate me and give me direction for making new content, for just sitting down and editing. Mad love. Cheers. Mr. Charles, I'm new here. What is your job occupation, man? Thanks for dropping by. Then I'm a camera operator. I mainly do commercial video for hospitality. I do a lot of drone videos for hotels, resorts, events all around Japan, China, a little bit in Los Angeles, a lot not Los Angeles actually too, Australia and such like that through an agency I do. Then here in TikTok, I do travel content. It's probably about Japan, as you would have guessed. I would have imagined. Taiwala also says, yo, what's good, Taiwala? Always cool to see you here. And yeah, I am going to try later today doing some editing on live. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. My setup now is kind of, I'm in a medial space. I'm not usually in my general office because I am, not home. But I'll see if I can do it also. I love doing it before. I love the feedback. First of all, I say this over and over. All you all in the chat, you guys really shaped the direction of where I go with my content. So I've done streaming before while I edit my videos, while I edit some photos of my friends and I in Japan. It's really fun seeing real-time feedback, Then Shea Butter says, are you going to try new things in Japan? Absolutely. Number one, I'm going to go to Hokkaido, which I'm very excited about. Never been there before. That should include some snowboarding. I get asked more than I would have thought about snowboarding in Japan, so and skiing. So I have my answers due to research. but that's one of the new things I'm going to try. And then if I can make the snow festival up there, I will. I'm also going to try some more countryside adventures, you could say, just because I love the rural areas of Japan. And a lot of my research and a lot of my videos recently has kind of shown that the countryside is changing more quickly than any other part of Japan, as far as like some cultural elements just fading away just into the obscurity of history. So if I can just document any of that before it is gone, I will be as happy as can be. Uh, yeah, that's basically it. Recently, not recently, in the past, yeah, 2 years or so, I have. Hey, thanks for the likes, by the way. We reached 1,000 likes. Thanks y'all for tapping that screen. It helps me with everything. Anyway, yeah, just my work keeps me in the city, which I love. I love Tokyo. I love Osaka, Kyoto, even the mid city with all the cultural, historical elements thrown in there. But I don't often get the chance to explore the countryside like I used to back when I was a student and my class would go on trips and we'd go in school club trips to Kyoto, to Fukuoka, to Hiroshima, all those places. I want to reactivate that. And sometimes you just got to make these things happen all on your own, you know? So that is one thing I'm going to make sure I can figure out. We'll see though. Nordic Spice, #1 gifter. Thanks again for being a boss. Um, Says, what are you drone regulations like in Tokyo? Pretty strict here in the EU. Hey, Shea Butter, thanks again. You are so generous. 1 out of 6 cranes. Woo! Cheers. Again, it goes above and beyond. It goes above and beyond helping me reach my financial goals. So drone regulations in Tokyo are abhorrent. They're so strict. Mikey, thank you. Cheers. I appreciate that. Nordic Spice also. Wow, you guys are blowing me up today with the gifts. Mikey, mad love. Oh my gosh, look at that with the cranes. 80% of the goal with the cranes. Woo. Oh my gosh. Okay. 3. Wow. Live goal achieved. Cheers, Mikey. Absolute boss and a half. Okay, lost my train of thought because you guys are just shining examples of phenomenal human beings, but drone regulations are awful. The whole of Tokyo, if you look at the regulated map, is a no-fly zone unless you get permits, which are pretty strict to get. I have gotten permits through my agency, but even then, it's usually not worth the shots as far as like the cost of the permits go. But if you go just a little bit outside of Tokyo, you're pretty good with drone shots, and that's what you can see a lot in my work. Osaka is a bit more easy with drone regulations, a bit more relaxed, and getting permits from Osaka is pretty simple, just because a lot of them, they really want to promote tourism in Osaka as well too. So I think low-key that is one of the reasons they know that if these hotels, these resorts are hiring people to do drone videos, drone operations for just web commercials to promote tourism within Osaka, I think they all have a mutual assured success as a prefecture if people come and check it out. Remy says, "Konbanwa, Remy 来てありがとね。超嬉しいな、いつも。いつも Remy の質問がめっちゃ好き、超楽しい." I said Remy's questions are always wild fun. Random fact about speaking the Japanese language that I keep forgetting is strange until I translate. You often talk to somebody, instead of saying you say their name. So if I'm talking to Remy here, I'd say, "Bro, I always like your questions. They're so fun." In English. In Japanese, it translates directly to, "I always like Remy's questions." So that sounds kind of strange. And also, you even talk in third person sometimes, mainly like childish ways, but sometimes in professional settings. So I could sometimes, me, as someone named Wes, I'd be like, "Wes is hungry. What is, Wes wants to go hang out with you today." So it sounds so weird translated. So it's just another weird thing. Anyway, but I use that Japanese right now. If anyone was curious, I said, "Bro, I like your questions. They're fun," is what I said. Mad Funko Pops, #3 gifter. Y'all have been so generous today, making me reach my 2023 goals. And look at that, Shea Butter with the new Tiny Donnie. Shay, mad love. Welcome to the team that helps me travel the world. Victor, so Mad Funko talking to Victor. I went to Tokyo at the end of October and it was perfect weather, not hot, not or cold. Yeah, end of October is great. October, March, and April, spring and fall, perfect for me. Heidi, cheers. Thank you. You'll notice personally for me, there's only 1 month in fall that I like because I get colder more easy than the average just American, probably due to being raised in Southern California. However, I love the springtime. March and April, favorite times to travel. I saw someone just comment on my last video. By the way, if you go comment on my last video about how to get cheap hotels, like from $15 a night for a hostel, then it helps me out more than you know. Just comment anything. It pushes the algorithm up, and I'm very likely to answer questions. Today's video was a question that I got asked on 2 videos ago about how I find the cheapest hotels. But I digress. Shay, thank you for the gifts. Mad love. Cheers. Hope all is well. Let's see. Oh, anyway, Victor says planning a trip to Japan in 2 years. Any recommendations of time of year to go? Okay, that's what we just talked. Hope you're still here, Victor. Thanks for the patience. October is great. I did talk about March to April is my favorite time, not only because of the weather, but because of the cherry blossoms blooming. It's called Hanami. It's like the kind of continuous event, continuous festival where everyone just chills, drinks, eats, has picnics, goes on epic dates under the cherry blossom trees. I love it. There's Hanafubaki, yeah, which is means like snow blizzard. No, means blizzard of flowers. It's when like the wind blows the cherry blossom petals in the wind. Just aesthetically stunning, as far as the eye can see. Just your whole peripherals are happy. I guarantee you. That's what I love about that. So yeah, that's when I would like to travel. That's why my last video also, I talk about booking hotels and stuff and my examples. For all my examples for flights and everything, I usually use around mid-March because I'm fantasizing about doing so. Mad Funko Pops, number 3 gifter, you absolute bosses. I have until February to decide. Okay, solid, solid. Okay, I think we talked about this before, but I still can't decide if I wanted to move to Tokyo or Osaka. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Yeah, man. These things are so hard. I really would feel just not my place putting in any input. I was in the same exact position 1 year ago, doing work in Osaka with offers in Tokyo. For media work, it's almost like a no-brainer that you have to go to Tokyo to do media work of any worth. I did, in fact, love living and working in Osaka. Paid less, but also rent was more affordable in Osaka. I have my network of friends, and they are just tight knit. I would even consider them like a second family. I love it. I help them out. They help me out. All those great things. But at the same time, I made the move. I tried something new. I did feel kind of isolated. Tokyo is full of people from outside of Tokyo. Tokyo is full of strangers making more quick, circles of social circles that might be dispersed more quickly. But that is what a fast-paced metropolis generates. That is, everyone's coming for the competitive jobs. But I came to love Tokyo. I really did. That's my just breakdown of pros and cons of Osaka and Tokyo work life that I've come to realize in the past year. Shay says, are you going to Okinawa anytime soon? Yes, I am actually. Okinawa trip is almost a 100% guarantee this next coming year because I haven't been there in 3 years as of now, and I miss it so much. I love Okinawa. I have really good friends there. Okinawa is my last culminating trip of Okinawa is something that really solidified my recent business trajectory. It was just a very meaningful trip to me with the people I went with the times I had. So yeah, I'll be there again, of course. And not to mention like one flight to Okinawa from Osaka, maybe from Tokyo over Peach Airlines is like $50 round trip. 50 to $150 round trip depending on how soon you buy it. So it'd be foolish of me not to go. 50 is lucky for one way. Never mind. Let me just get to the bottom of this with a quick Google. How much for a Peach Airline flight from Osaka to Okinawa? Let's land in Naha. I bet I'm correct. I just love being... Oh my, yeah, there, okay, I was right. $50 you can get a trip. You can get one from even $35 it says, but that's usually just hyperbole. Anyway, why'd you ask, Shay? Just curious. Narciso says, I really want to get the 24-70 Sigma Art lens, or is it better to save for study abroad? Good question. I would say 100% study abroad. You can get lenses any time of your life. 24-70, it's one of my favorite lenses. I have mine right here. It is key for so many things, but with all the tech now, you can make fantastic media and fantastic content with a lens, the same lens, but it's not the Art House lens. It's so good though. I love this lens. Just to the moon and back. I would save for study abroad too, just because that's, a once in a lifetime thing where lenses are forever. I know that's not a very photographer thing of me to be saying, but it's the truth. Nordic Spy says, what are the drone? Oh, got that one. Drone regulations are rough. Rough. Shea Butter says, I really want to go there, but didn't know how it would be like. I've been studying. Okay, cool. Yeah, so Okinawa is honestly so different from anything else in mainland Japan, partially because it was its own kingdom that was really just conquered by Japan a century ago or something like that. Don't quote me on the history, but something like that is true. So they have their own culture. They have essentially their own language. Like anyone's grandparents from Okinawa are gonna speak a very strong Okinawan dialect that is tricky for me to understand, but super cool. They have really interesting culture. Like they would have tattoo wedding rings and stuff like that. It's really fantastic. But it is such a relaxed and fun place to be. Um, Amazing oceans. It just reminded me of the Hawaii of Japan. So amazing food and just kind of like a very ethereal place. They have such people think it's like a just a power spot because there are more centurions, people that live past 100 than anywhere else in the world. It's just such a great vibe. And again, that might just be heavily influenced by the great experiences I had there. But I don't think it is. I think it's just above and beyond a great place. Check out Naha. Go to the nightclub Harvard. It's my friend's club, and check out Big Knot. It's my friend's restaurant. Just a fun place. I am smitten with that whole island. Mad Funko Pops, number two gifter, you boss, says, oh, Remy says, have you ever, sorry, out of order, have you ever used Air Asia for domestic flights around Japan? I have not, personally. I don't remember all the times. Usually when I get domestic flights within Japan, they're luckily purchased by my clients. So I haven't really done that much domestic flying by myself, except again to Okinawa because that's the main option. To be honest, if I am doing domestic trips, I either save a lot of money and get a bus, or I just go with the convenience option, which is the Shinkansen. So I haven't flown that much, but I usually use Peach Airlines. Is Air Asia something that you really enjoy for domestic flights? Shea Butter, hey, your boss, thank you. The T GIF, oh, TGIF, thank God it's Friday, and it is. What are y'all doing for Friday? Anything wild, exciting? Because I am hanging out with all you and editing. Mad Funko Pops, number two gifter says, Osaka is more affordable, so that's why I'm leaning that way. Yeah, absolutely. I had a great apartment in Osaka for around $400 a month, $350 a month, even including utilities and such. And I had a better apartment for 400 raised to $500 a month. Osaka is so affordable. I think quality of life overall in Osaka is better, but depending on whatever industry goals you have, Tokyo is just, a global hub for all things media, and many industrial businesses are like just coursing through Tokyo. Nick says, Wes, how you doing? Good to see you, Nick. I'm doing great. It's awesome to see you here again. How about you, boss? Then Mad Funko Pop says, that's my main issue. I already have a few friends in Tokyo and none in Osaka. Scared to be alone. I feel you. Again, no, as much as I front on my TikTok that I just am having a great time all the time, which I am, and I'm very blessed with my friends. I was feeling super lonely and isolated my first 2 to 3 weeks in Tokyo, even with friends there. Because here's the thing about having friends in Tokyo too, even like really good friends from university, you can both live in Tokyo but still be like an hour and a half away from each other by train. It's a big place. Not to mention my friends that are in Tokyo, they're much more busy than my friends in Osaka, just because it's such a highly competitive place when it comes to work, and more expensive. And because most people in Tokyo, like I said before, come from outside of Tokyo, a lot of people have very tight-knit social circles that revolve around work or something like that. And so, they can't just be like, yo, what are you up to this evening on my rare day off? Do you want to just randomly meet up for a drink or something? Whereas my friends in Osaka, they'll just like bang on my door like 10 p.m. be like, hey, we're going to get food, and then just stay there until I come out or whatever. So just different atmospheres, pros and cons of both. I feel you though. But I guarantee you, boss, just knowing you, just through how I do now through here, you will make friends in Osaka. And it's so, my friend groups in Osaka, they're like friends because they all grew up there. As opposed to most of my friends in Tokyo have moved there for work or such. Not all, but most. My friends in Osaka, they're all friends that have been friends since like elementary school. They know everyone. It's so cool. So being indoctrinated into those friends group is such a fun feeling. SJBHF says, my friend and I are planning a trip next September. It will be our first time going to Japan. Tips? Absolutely have tips. That is the purpose of my whole account. We will be going to Tokyo. So 100%, I always just start from the beginning. I would recommend flying into Haneda. It's more convenient. Although some other people here, Tai Walla Travels also prefers Narita. So pros and cons to both. My last video is about booking locations. I would check out Airbnb and Vrbo. They're very great places to get affordable locations, but also kind of dynamic ones. a happy medium between good prices of hotels in Tokyo, but not too small, not too inconvenient, like some ryokan, some hostels where it's very affordable, but also you can only sleep in like a capsule or a bunk bed for so long. I just very much enjoy my privacy, my own space. I also love to have guests over. I like to invite new people over to my apartment all the time, and I can do that through Airbnb or a hotel, but not in a hostel, as far as I know. Random other tips. Check out Ikebukuro if you like pop culture stuff. I would say it is an underrated kind of Akihabara. So there's a lot of like there's the 8-story anime store there called Animate. They have like random cosplay events there. I would say almost every weekend, right in the park out front of it. They have all of the really cool Pokemon Center stuffs at Sun City in Ikebukuro, and a great view of the city, and an aquarium there. So if you have any specific questions, I am literally full of advice because that is what I do for my hobby. Have fun. Remy says, "And what year was your first trip to Japan?" Oh man, as of now, that was about a decade ago. Yeah, to that have 2014, so about 9 years ago. Yeah, that's crazy how that works out. Eight years ago, almost 9 years ago. Just when I knew nothing, did not speak the language at all. Look how far I've spiraled into having a TikTok account based on Japan. Ooh, time flies. I never would have guessed, you know? Victor says, thanks, y'all. Victor, I love how everyone here is very, like, informed about a lot of stuff, too, so it's really cool that everyone can answer each other's questions, too, because sometimes I spend too much time on some stuff. Aaron says, the Inuyasha shirt is dope. Thank you. Oh! Thank you, boss. I appreciate it. I'm using my stand to try to stream something here, so apologies for dropping the camera. It's leaned up against my monitor. Why did that happen? But thank you. I'm a fan and a half myself. It was a gift. Shay says, got to show the love. Hey, it's felt. It is very much. Heidi, welcome back. It's been a hot second. Says, hey, Wes. What up, King? Been forever. That's what I'm saying. It has been. I'm good. I'm back in SoCal saying family for the holidays. I had an amazing year in Tokyo and Osaka, and I'm back for a bit reminiscing about my time. Hey, Christopher. Thank you for the finger hearts. Cheers, my friend. It means more to me than you know, and you are helping me reach my financial goals for more travel. Good looking out. 100% of my funds from TikTok, I would venture to say, goes directly into my trips. Victor, in one way or another. Then Mad Funko Pops also answering Victor. Oh, in October, okay. Oh, I'm sorry I'm late to comments. I'm trying to get to everything I can. Rolls Ober says, hey, all in caps with 4 Ys. I love that enthusiasm, my friend. Welcome, hope all is well. Tony says, thanks for the advice. That's what I'm here for. Literally, that's why I'm here. So thanks. And to just get energy from all you great people in the chat. Then Tony also says, yo, just got back from Tokyo. It was amazing. Stayed in Shinjuku and met tons of people. Good. Isn't that the best part about travel is all the cool people you meet, especially Shinjuku? I can venture to guess there are some people that will go out of your way just to make you entertained. Sky, thank you for the hat. Cheers. What a lovely icon you have there too. That was super cool. From what I caught of it. What is that from, a manga or something? It looked like something, but I was mistaken. Anywho, Tony the Tiger, I'm glad you had a blast. Shinjuku is insane. I hope you get to make it back there and reconnect with the friends you made. Christopher, thanks again for the gift. Says, which airport is closer to Tokyo? Akihabara, that would be Haneda. Haneda is usually gonna have more expensive flights, but that's just because it's so convenient. Narima just has it's a little bit further away from most areas, but not by much. And you can just take a bus in and out of there. But yeah, usually for me, because I always have so many suitcases, unless I just shell out the money or can trust a service to deliver my suitcases with all my camera stuff to the airport, then I always try to go for Haneda. But yeah, there'll be a train right from Shibuya to Haneda. It's right in the center of all things. Another reason why it's so hard to fly drones in Tokyo, but you know, you can only complain about so many things. Alan says, are you a permanent resident of Japan? No, I'm not. I will almost be able to apply to permanent residency. If you live in Japan for 5 years, you can apply for a permanent residency. My visas have been all over the place, though, from multiple student visas to work visas to some tourism visas. So I don't know how difficult that is. I also don't know exactly the full benefits of being a resident, but I do know that it would just save me some time from going in and out of the LA, Los Angeles, Tokyo, sorry, Los Angeles, Japanese embassy, which is so tricky for me. And just going back and forth to try and get visas is whoo. It's just making me sweat thinking about it. But yeah, you can do it at some point. My friend is going through the same thing. My friend I studied abroad for at the same time years ago. They are applying for residency now because they have been living and working there for 5 years or so. T says, "What do you do for a job?" I'm a camera operator. Yeah, I have it right here. I use this camera right here, Canon EOS 5 RC, to do commercial video for mainly resorts, hotels, anything in hospitality. I have an agency that sends me around to a lot of their clients to essentially do mainly web commercial work and promotional work for events that they have. It's a lot of fun. It provides me a lot of opportunity to see a lot of interesting places in the world. Thanks for asking. The Henry says, "Love your content. I'm spending a month there in March. My favorite month to travel. You absolute beast." That's great. I hope you have a blast. Again, check out the cherry blossom season. Alan, thank you for the snowman. You guys are so generous today. It's not forgotten. Mad love, y'all. I'm spending a month there, you say. Okay, cool. In March. That's fantastic. Are you in Osaka now? You also say, "No, I'm back in Southern California to see family for the holidays." Because I haven't been with family in the holidays for a long time. I've missed a lot of Christmases with family, and you're not always gonna have those. Narciso says, "Is Nagoya more similar to Tokyo or Osaka?" I'd say it's actually very different from either. It's I thought so in the beginning. You'd think of a spectrum of like more cool and collected in Tokyo, more upfront and funny in Osaka, and then it just kind of drifts. But Nagoya is much more, I would say, reserved, but kind of like gentle, as a friendly in a very gentle way, as opposed to Osaka being friendly in a very forward and upfront way. Then Nagoya also, it is an industrial port, so it has all the big city elements of both, most of the big city elements of both, but it is much more of a natural environment. I've only been to Nagoya a couple times, so that's basically off of my impression, whereas I've lived both in Tokyo and Osaka. But yeah, Nagoya is great. Probably my ex-girlfriend was there, so I haven't really been back since then. But my friend's getting married in Nagoya this March, so I'll be back there. I'll make some content because I know it's great. I just don't know much about it. So it says, "Hey Wes, how's your night going?" It's going great. Thanks for asking, you beast. Cheers to have you here. I like your. I'm pretty sure that's an Akira icon. Can I click it to see? No, One Piece. My bad. Nick says, "I'm back." You are. Cheers. Welcome back. It's great to see you. Madman says, "Hey, big fan. Want to ask, what's the minimum time you recommend to spend in Japan?" Thank you so much. That means more to me than you know. I have to screenshot that. So before, I used to say try to spend as long as you can. I would say if you can swing 2 weeks, you can. Minimum amount of time, you can have a blast in a week. I realized this past year that it is very possible to burn out just on traveling. I was having a great time, but I had experiences where I was just like lost with heavy suitcases, trying to find the right bus, even knowing the language and even being pretty accustomed with travel within Japan. And I was like, damn, I really don't want to be traveling right now. So, not to be negative, but I think 2 to 3 weeks is a pretty good period of time to not burn out, to have a blast. Minimum amount of time, I think 1 week is solid, but I would say if you are there for a shorter period of time, my personal preference is to not try to see all of the country, but really stay more in 1 or 2 prefectures to really get the flavor of that, really kind of like hit up the same bar or restaurant a couple times, make a friend that you see 2 or 3 times. That's my personal favorite way of traveling. It's also much more cost effective. There are other people that really enjoy just like, having the bucket list and crossing off every prefecture every day. That's fantastic too. That creates amazing memories. That can create amazing content too if that's what you're doing. But I just really prefer being in one place for a longer period of time, Anyway, let's see. Nick says, "I'm a black boy. Can me, a black boy, go visit?" I would say yes. I would say I believe there's very minimal racism and xenophobia throughout the country. Again, as a white dude, I don't have experience with that. People ask me all the time too if people are xenophobic against people from America. I've never experienced that. It does happen, and I think posts like that do blow up sometimes. So a lot of people are kind of nervous about facing discrimination. I don't think that's something you have to worry about. There are some fantastic creators that have on TikTok that have lived in Japan as people of color for years. One is French Isaiah. Check them out. A personal friend of mine. I forgot the other one is maybe Paper Pat. You can check out their experiences. They might post on things like that, but I don't think it should be a problem at all. I think you should encounter a lot of people that are wild friendly. I hope it's not an obstacle for you to go. Kinda. Thank you for the gifts. I appreciate that a ton. And cheers. Wolf says, been following you for 2 years. Love the journey, man. Thank you. It means so much to me. I love it too. Thanks to all you fantastic people. Kinda. Thank you for 20 roses. A whole dang garden of them. Chowder with the finger hearts. Good looking out, boss. It really is so appreciated. Let's see. Then Nick says, doing great, brother. Thank you for asking. Ready for the new year? Me too. Yeah, 2024 is coming in hot and fast. 2 more days of this year we have. That's insane. This so much happened this year, but still it could have gone by in the blink of an eye. That hyperbole. It feels like a very full year for me, but everyone knows just like perceptually years go by more quickly every year. Yeah, it's a wild thing. Wild element of life. I'm excited. 2024 is gonna be wild. In the best possible way. I know it for a fact. Tony says, "Yo, just got back from Tokyo. It was amazing. Stayed in Oh, there we go. Yeah, Tony, I'm so glad. Okay, I'm refreshing the comments now. Yo, if I miss your comment and question, don't hesitate to ask twice, however many times. I'm here to answer them. And sorry if I'm slow to stuff. Skylar says, I'm going to Japan in 5 days. Look at y'all go for the winter travelers. I'm nervous about the language barrier. How bad is it? Great question. I'd say in Tokyo, Osaka, big cities, you'll be completely fine. Most menus will have English options. Train stations will have announcements in English. Most train attendees, people at the train stations will speak enough English in Tokyo to get you around. Not the case so much in the countryside though. If you leave the big cities, not many people will speak English, but that doesn't mean people won't be welcoming, won't be patient if you just communicate with the translation app. That's always my answer. That's what I recommend. But also, if you put in just a little bit of time and effort to learn a little bit of the Japanese language, I guarantee you can like make friends that much more quickly. People will go out of their way to like meet you halfway with the language barrier and stuff like that, to use whatever English they might know to meet you with whatever Japanese you might know. So I wouldn't stress about it at all. I would enjoy the excitement you have for what's to come and all that. Because yeah, I was stressed out as can be before I went. I remember stressing out too over just everything, over like overpacking, over bringing like enough batteries and the language. And I shouldn't have. I wish I just enjoyed that time. And I did for the most part. But yeah, stress not. It's a safe, friendly place to live. Just, prepare by watching my videos, maybe commenting on my last video if you want to. No, in all seriousness, just, prepare adequately and roll with the punches if you have unforeseen turbulence in your trip. But I think you're going to have a blast regardless of your language capability. Little dude says, yo, bro, how's the night going? It's going good because I get to chill with all third of you here in chat. And yeah, after this, I'll be doing some editing. I'm going out with some old friends tomorrow night. I'm really happy. And one of my cousins who has essentially been like an older brother to me my whole life. That's great. I haven't seen that dude for a couple years. Dude has a family now. It's insane. And yeah, it's just going to be all in all a phenomenal time. Thanks for asking. How about you, man? Remy talking to me in Japanese says, shabu shabu or yakiniku. Great question. So shabu shabu, I think as everyone might know, is like hot pot, also called. You have like meat you dip into like boiling flavored spicy broth, and then yakiniku, like Japanese barbecue, similar to K barbecue. Which do I like better? So hard. I like yakiniku more. I like the crispness of a barbecued piece of beef, I think, a little bit more, although it might lack the flavor. I think if it's the kind of quality of meat I might often shell out the money for, it's not even needing of this flavor of the sauce. How about you? How about anyone that wants to answer? And also, it's so much fun to answer questions in Japanese when I can read them all. なんか日本語の質問聞いたら読んだら超嬉しくなってる。いつも言ってるだけど、日本帰った後で、じゃあアメリカに帰った後でいつも日本語を使えなかったら超下手になるだから使いたいですよね。I just said, I always love to practice because every time I come back from that, I made this mistake in Japanese too. I said every time I come home from Japan to America, my Japanese gets bad if I don't practice. So I want to. T says, is it a good industry to work in? I'm studying film, etc. right now. That's it. Sorry about that. I got to get another tripod for my phone. That is a very good question. I love it. I think a lot of it has to come from a place of love. It's been very hit and miss for me financially, working as a camera operator, working within media for the past almost 7 years. It's been hit and miss financially. It's always been fun. It's always been dynamic and interesting. That can be stressful. I have had times when I did envy my friends who have a very set routine and such, but I do love it. I think it's great. And it it connects you with fun people. I love so many of the people that I work with. A lot of my great friends in life have been people, other camera operators, directors, producers, models, actors. My circle of friends I find to be very dynamic and exciting, and I've found them through my work. So a lot of them, not all of them. So I feel blessed because of that. Yeah, it depends though. It really is what you make of it. I know a lot of other people that are camera operators, DPs, and stuff that are exponentially more wealthy than I am, and that's great. I don't know if they're more happy than me. I don't know how to gauge that. I don't even know how I would ask that. But I'm thrilled. I'm very happy with my work. I've gotten very lucky being a camera operator sometimes. I've gotten extremely unlucky. I got robbed one time in Los Angeles in Hollywood, and I thought that was the end of my career. It very might have been, but yeah, it's a tumultuous job, but a very rewarding job. I also have friends that were camera operators, had the same job as me. They quit, and now they have very fulfilling jobs doing something else too, because they didn't like it. So yeah, hit and miss. I know that might not have been helpful, but I love the industry, working in media, working in commercial media. Hey, user 2269, thank you for the happy Friday. Above and beyond generous, it means more to me than you know. Speaking of not being as financially successful as some of my colleagues, look at that. I'm getting gifts from you fantastic people here. Is LAX the only airport in SoCal to go to Japan? It's the only one I've ever flown out of. I don't know if they do. I think so. I don't know. I don't know if it's the only one. It sucks. I'm not gonna lie about that. LAX is an awful airport because there's minimal public transportation, if any, that goes to it. I think they're building a monorail that goes into LAX, but you either have to have someone pick you up at the airport, which also sucks, or you have to walk like 10 minutes to where the Uber can pick you up, which is so expensive, also sucks. Then you land in Japan and you can get like a $4 train into any part of the city. I love it. So hate to throw shade on LA. I love my hometown, but as far as I know, LAX is the only one. Ontario, you can fly from Ontario to LAX. I don't know why you would ever do that. User 226, thank you for the gifts. Hey, mad love for you and the generosity. Sherry, thank you also. Look at that. I get gifts when I trash talk my hometown's airport. Anyway, T says, which industry do you work in? I'm a camera operator, work for commercial media. That's what I got for you. AJ says, good evening, brother. Or morning, it is evening. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for joining the live. I appreciate y'all here. Roll Sober says, hey, I got that. Hey, back to you. I'm refreshing the comments now. Cheers. And thank you for subscribing. User 2269 means more to me than you know. You absolute beast. Means so much. Thank you all so much. I mean it. Y'all really do just give me motivation and direction with my content. And it's fantastic. Is the film industry good in Japan? Is it industry I plan to go into? Okay. Let's see. Ruby says, hey, hello. So I have to read these because sometimes when someone says for me to say hello to somebody, it's like tricks me into saying something bad, which I've never done before. But Ruby and Connor, yeah, okay. Ruby and Connor, what's up? Hope you guys have a great evening. Cheers, Ruby. I like that name. I have a childhood friend named Ruby. Very fun name. Anyway, so the Japanese film industry compared to the film industry in LA, where I do work a lot also, it pays a lot less. Everyone says that if you want to work in media, work in film, go to LA. They don't know why I'm working there. I will say the reason I'm working there is because I feel much more creatively liberated in Tokyo. I have much more creative freedom to work as a camera operator, whereas Los Angeles pays much more. It's just the window into the heart and soul of the film industry, but it is much more of a, let's see, industrial complex of a job. It's much more structured. When I work as a camera operator in LA, I have little to none creative leeway with what I do. I follow the DP's directions just to the T, which is great. I'm learning from top industry directors of photography, top industry directors. It's fantastic, but it is much more of a strenuous and sometimes stressful job. Whereas in Japan, I feel like I've very come into my own style as a camera operator, and you can do both in both places. This is just my personal experience, but that is the trade-off between like just financial success. A lot of jobs in Los Angeles, while they are much more competitive, will pay probably twice as much as a lot of my jobs in Tokyo. And you know, their trade-offs, rent in Los Angeles is usually twice as expensive as rent even in Tokyo too, but that is just my rundown of really working where you feel more inspired to work, because inspiration. User 2269, thank you for the gifts. I appreciate it more than you know. It's really helping me. You're really going above and beyond. But yeah, I think maybe more so than some industries, inspiration is really key to get you out of the bed in the morning. It's 4 in the morning to run to a cold shoot. Then maybe some other industries, where, that, yeah, that's what I got to say about that. Oscar says, what's your on-the-go breakfast at the conveni? Good question. It's the Family Mart chicken, Family Chicken, spicy family chicken. Hey, Remy, thanks. So this is daily fried chicken that is just pretty good. I think it's a fried chicken thigh. I love it. It's just it's a good $1 spicy fried chicken. That's all there is to it. There's also a spectrum of onigiri. I love a salmon onigiri, but there's something about just a hot breakfast which I very much enjoy. If I have time to sit down and have something, I'll get like a cold soba in the summertime. Also, a nikuman or pizzaman is pretty good. Pizzaman is just the king of what you would consider a hot pocket to evolve into. Just the fluffiest bread with a whatever like tomato sauce and cheese is in the middle of it. And then nikuman is a meat bun, which is a classic. That's what I gotta say about my on-the-run convenience store breakfast. I love that. Actually, I'm gonna take a screenshot of that so I can remember it in the future to maybe make a video on. See, look how that goes. Scholar says, thank you. Love the content. You and Luis Mora are the reasons I made my trip. Dang, okay, that means a ton to me. I'm gonna screenshot that and then look into that gentleman's work because that is exciting. Honestly, that means more to me than you know. I have said that several times this live, but definitely inspiring people to travel, to kind of like take a risk out of their comfort zone, probably mainly in Japan because that's where I'm most well versed in traveling. That's my goal. That's the goal of this whole account. That's why I primarily do like editing videos day in, day out and take all this content. There are other reasons I love being an influencer for travel and such, but that's one of the key reasons. So cheers, man. Thanks for sharing that with me. I mean it. Yeah, okay, Skylar, yeah, I'll remember that. Without a doubt, you're gonna have a blast nap. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. Comment on my videos is an easiest way, or ask here, Let's see, user2269, you're a legend. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for everything. Let's see. Remy says, thanks for not being a bot on live. It's annoying to consistently hear, guys, tap, 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 and Galaxy guys. Yeah, I know. I feel you. You get it. Don't get me wrong. I love the gifts and I love tapping on the screen to like it. But no, it's not the purpose. I understand that. I see some of that too. A lot of lives I love do that too. So it is what it is, Remy. I appreciate you appreciating me for that. It's the small things in life sometimes. Saku, welcome back. Says, do you know any good camera shops out there? Also, is Harajuku good place to shop? Yes and yes. So it's not very fun. My favorite camera shop is the chain Big Camera, just because great prices. They have everything that they offer. Also in Ikebukuro. Sorry, no. Not Ikebukuro. Hold on. There's a Canon Superstore. And yeah, in Ikebukuro Station that I love. That's fantastic. But I'm a Canon cameraman myself, so that might be why that is the situation. There are several vintage camera stores in Kyoto that I love. Kawaramachi Camera. That's a vintage camera shop. I used to sell some of my camera stuff there too when I was very out of money as a student. So sell some, buy some at a more expensive price. But they would sell some very cool vintage lenses that really actually helped shape the way that I do photography, because that's the only lenses I could afford, but they really made me get creative. That'd be Kawaramachi Camera. But yeah, Big Camera. That's a BIC camera. They'll have everything you need. They have $16,000 lenses, telephoto lenses in that camera shop. You can just waltz in and test and use just right there. The amount of trust they have for the average citizen to just use their insane stuff is heavenly. Very cool. That's what I recommend there. And then Harajuku. Harajuku is like the best kind of just hot fever dream. It's so cool. Most of like the most wild fashion trends to come out of Japan have been birthed in Harajuku. It is experimental on the border of being insane, all the fashion. That's where Lolita fashion comes from. So if you walk through Harajuku, you can see like cool shops for everything, every subculture, from visual kei to punk to like death metal to like Lolita fashion, which is kawaii Lolita fashion, which I don't know much about, but it's like if you dress like you're a magical girl from, Victorian times, England. That's kind of how I would imagine explaining that. Yeah, Harajuku is wild. They also have wild, cool, trendy cafes. It's a fun place. Not much of anything for nightlife, and Harajuku is also kind of split between that. And then there's a really high-end shopping street right there too, for like all big brand names. And you know, if you take somebody out on a date, that's where you want to go for some of the top cafes. That will be more expensive, but the fun, unique atmosphere. With not without like the novelty events too. Sometimes there'll be people dressing up that serve you. It's worth it. I like it. It's not my go-to place, but it's nice. Fluffy says, "Are people out there actually into anime, or is it looked down on?" I'd say like just a little bit more than the States. So it's like just cartoons in America. Like yeah, more so than the States, but not as much as maybe people might expect. You know, like everyone grew up watching maybe like some One Piece or some Doraemon or like something like that. Same like if you ask Americans if everyone loves SpongeBob or something, you probably say, "Yeah, I love SpongeBob growing up, but I'm not like an avid SpongeBob fan. It doesn't really affect my day-to-day life as an adult." That's kind of how I would put that into perspective. But that changes 360 degrees if you go to Akihabara or some of the places like Harajuku or spots of Ikebukuro where they're like year-round 24/7 places for anime. Not 24/7 because there's an absence of almost any nightlife in Akihabara, which I'm upset about. But yeah, that's my answer for that. I hope that's helpful. It's a fun place though. If you like anime, I think I just posted a video on that on my YouTube. If you want to check out my YouTube videos too, I have that linked in my bio. I just posted a video today and all that good stuff. Ruby says, "Say hello to Ruby." Hey, I got that. Cheers, Ruby. Hope you're doing well. Refreshing the comments. Thanks for everyone for the patience. Guitar says, "Day 2 of asking Wes if he started season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen." I got a screenshot of that. No, I didn't. Last night I watched an episode of Slam Dunk. That's all I did. But I'm going to. I think I'm going to take 2 days off of work for New Year's. One of those days I'm going to binge watch it. Because I need to be in a headspace where I'm okay to be probably a little bit emotionally unstable when I watch season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen, knowing what I know about this arc. So that's what's going to go down with that. Also, I'm pretty prepared to just jump into reading the manga after this because I was very tempted to read the manga after the first season, and I did not. And I'm glad I didn't because I hear they animate this whole next arc in a way that just is an art of the decade. So I'm excited about that. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. How about you guys? Have you guys watched any other anime or dramas or like movies recently too that y'all recommend? Because I'm always hunting for such things. I gotta head out in a bit, you guys, but I am hold on. I am thinking about going live today because I want to do some editing also for some other content. I'm thinking about trying to do some streaming while I edit to see how that works. It's gonna essentially be a test of my current on-the-go hardware setup because I know I can edit pretty well on my PC. I have my PC running right here. I just kind of like threw it together. Look, I have like an old notepad as my mouse pad right now. Wild, the things that I can get up to if I put my mind to it. But I'll see if I can do some video editing while I go live. For now though, I'm just gonna answer any further questions that I might possibly be able to do. Let's see. I'm also, if you're on Twitch and YouTube and I missed comments, I'm so sorry. I've been trying to get to all I can. They just have not showed up on my OBS. But if not, then hopefully it's okay regardless. User226, you are above and beyond super generous. So mad love for that. Thanks. Let's see. Refreshing the comments now. Thank you all for the patience. I'm trying to get to all the questions and comments. If I missed any, don't hesitate to ask twice, you know? Just the normal drill that I say. The Real Synergist, what a name you have, says, "Hey Wes, have you ever taken Zip Air from California to Tokyo or heard of the airline?" Yes, and yes, I did. It was $100 cheaper than any other choice. I think I got my last one-way Zip Air ticket for about $500, just over $500. But I will say that I had to pay another extra $100 for checking of luggage, and they didn't have a TV behind the chair. So I mean, like, I was sleeping during the ride anyway, during the flight. But I usually do love to just watch some movies. They usually have some cool new releases or something, catch up on whatever recent releases or Academy nominees that I hadn't seen. But they didn't have any of that, and they had like Wi-Fi you could pay for on your phone or something if you wanted to watch that. Luckily, I just had like my computer. I ended up actually doing some work for once on the airplane. And they did have a meal. They had a pretty solid meal, but only one meal, whereas usually for a 13-hour flight, they have two meals. And drinks, aside from water and juice, you had to pay for. So yeah, it's what would you say? The term is bare bones. As far as the flight goes, they got me there safely. Great service, but minimal service. So it was fine. And I've seen Zip Air flights that are got like $300 or something like that. So if you can just do a random ass trip out to Tokyo for $300, watch movies on your laptop, I would pack some snacks. I would pack some of my own, like I'll stop at the McDonald's at the airport to grab something for the flight next. And wow, I'm actually getting hungry talking about that. What a strange turn of events. Anyway, yeah, Zip Air is solid, cheap. I've not heard any complaints about Zip Air. Just, you get what you paid for. If you travel, because I paid $100 extra for checking my bag, I don't think I'd do that again. But if you travel carry-on, then it's a move without a doubt. Guitar says, bro, I'll stream it on the server if I have to. I miss that. I miss watching anime on the Discord server. By the way, everybody, I did upload the link in my bio. The Discord server is live. I do announcements on there for whatever posts. There's a lot of like travel and language learning content on the Discord server, and a ton of cool people, including right here our very own Guitar Whisper. Very, very fun stuff. I'm excited to stream stuff there. We streamed something random like Team America there. You all did, I think, over last time, over the winter or something like that. Good times, y'all. Kat says, do they charge for carry-on? Zip Air did not charge for carry-on. Zip Air was fine for me having my big backpack, my big camera bag, and also I brought a skateboard with me last time. So yeah, they were cool with that. I had a skateboard, I had a little penny board with me, and then I had a carry-on bag. So it was cool with that. Zipper was fine. That's a good question, Kat. The Real Synergist is awesome. Thank you. You got it. I think Zip Air is something I mentioned in my last video, 2 videos ago, when I talk about buying the cheapest tickets. If y'all also just random obligatory shout out to comment on my videos, if you want to comment and check out my last video about finding the cheapest places to stay in Japan, then I will be stoked. That's always a great way that boosts me into the For You page, which I love. Speaking of which, Irvin says, yo, I haven't seen you in a minute. I've been off of the For You page. And also, I actually have been off of TikTok because I've been in China where TikTok is banned. But cheers, I'm glad you see me now. I'm glad I'm back. And yeah, I will be going live every weekday around this time. I'm kind of being experimental with the times recently. Previously, it was 8 p.m. California time and noon Tokyo time consistently. However, that did not work so well for too many people, to be honest, aside from myself. So I'm experimenting with new times like today. So if anyone always wants to let me know, like if it's a good time to go live, just it helps with my internal data, all that stuff. But yeah, good question about Zip Air. I would take Zip Air again too. I just be prepared to hopefully try to go carry on and maybe download some movies or a season of Jujutsu Kaisen if you feel so inclined onto your laptop, Alex says it's 2:30 a.m. for me in the UK time. Alex, thanks for being a legend and being here 2 in the morning UK time. That's gotta be on a Friday, I guess Saturday morning. Yeah, hope you had a wild cool night, and cheers. Thanks for tuning in, and maybe your night will continue. Who knows. Oh my gosh, Guitar says, by the way, I'm getting married on the 5th. Woo! Congrats, my friend. That is huge. Dang, that is around the corner. Mad love. I will do something in my own way to celebrate. Congrats. For everyone that does not know, Guitar Whisper is the phenomenal admin of the Discord server and just a helpful human being. Alex, thanks for the gifts on all levels of content creation and research and all that stuff. What a boss. Congrats to you and your family, my friend. You just a shining beacon of awesomeness in the world. Tap something by mistake. All right. Andrew stuck in Irvine T. Cat, do they charge carry? No, carry on is free for Zip Air. Irvin says, LOL. What are we talking about? Irvin. Hey, good looking out. Thanks for the gifts. Means a lot to me. Irvin says, man, if only the internet had more awesome people like you, then there wouldn't be so much misinformation. Thank you. That means a ton. Yeah, that's an issue too. I hate how everything is so sponsored. Whenever I research anything, the first 4 the first 4 research results are always like paid sponsors and stuff. You have to do so much research now to get like anything that's not a paid course or a paid ad, especially for things that can be easily marketed like editing, like travel and stuff. So cheers, I appreciate that. I actually have to screenshot that because I feel like I I've achieved a goal for myself. But yeah, I appreciate that. There's tons of misinformation out there. I try to really stay in my lane, only talk about what I know, even if other huge things are going on. And no, I try to know what I know with endless research. I love the research too. That's a lot of fun stuff too. Should I stream Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 of JJK on Wes's Discord? Great, great. I'm gonna vote yes. Can I vote on my own live? Who knows? Only if Wes watches too is the second option. I will. If we're streaming Jujutsu Kaisen on Discord, I'll be there. Trust me, I'll be there. I'll be there with food. I've been waiting. It's my weekend, and aside from going out on New Year's, I don't have any plans. I don't know how to vote on this, to be honest. Talking about things I know and don't know. But anyway, cheers, Irvin, for that positivity you just shot my way. And points for that, what is it called? Poll. Nick Eiler says, it's 9:30 Midwest, USA. Okay, cool. Good looking out. You guys make fantastic music out there in the Midwest. I miss traveling amongst the states too. Alex says 2:30 in the AM in the UK. Okay, cool. Thank you so much, actually. This gives me a really good time about, a really good sense of what who's watching and what time it is for people, T says, I'll be in Japan March, okay, 2024. I'm so excited. Me too. Like I just announced to the world in my last video, March is my favorite time to travel in Japan because that is when the cherry blossoms begin to bloom. I hope you get to view that. Look out for Hanami events. That is essentially just the universal month-long party that everyone has in the parks under the cherry blossoms. You're gonna have a legendary time. I'm sure it's the case. Irvin says, damn, almost New Year's. That blows me away. 2 days or so until the new year. That is unreal. There's so many things that I planned to do in 2023. I did most of them, but still, time flies more quickly than you would expect. Just another great reminder to jump on your goals like there's no tomorrow. In a assertive way, but who knows? You also just gotta enjoy stuff sometimes. Look at me contradicting myself with unsolicited advice. Young Eyes says, McDonald's. I love McDonald's. I'm not gonna lie about that. I don't know what you're talking about though, to be honest. Alex, #1 gifter, thank you so much for all the generosity. It means more to me than you know, and it's not forgotten. 2024 is gonna be a good year for everyone. That's the mentality we gotta have, boss. I feel you. I believe it. I really do. I think so. 2023 was a top year. I think that was fantastic. I mean, don't get me wrong, globally, there's issues. There are often global issues, but I just think, for me, I had a blast. And you often have to make it a good year for yourself when everything is falling to just chaos around you sometimes, But yeah, T, you're going to be in March 2024. It is going to be a good year then, if you get to travel amongst Japan. That's like the theme of my entire account. Irvin says, man, oh, thank you again for that. All right, you guys, I do have to dip out soon. Let's see. But I'm going to get to a couple more comments and questions if I can. Young Ice, what are we talking about McDonald's for? Curious about that. Well, it's all good. All right, refreshing the comments. And if I missed your comments and questions, don't hesitate, to ask twice. Irvin says, Inuyasha, yo, one of my all-time favorites. And the original time travel isekai or something like that. I'm a fan. This was a gift. This is from Target. Would you believe it? It's like $8 or something. Sometimes Target just comes through. And yeah, sign of how great of a year it was if you find an Inuyasha shirt at Target. What are the odds, I'm not sure. I feel like recently, this just might be my personal exposure because of what TikTok shows me, but I feel like just Japanese pop culture is blowing up in the States sometimes a little bit more in a mainstream way that low-key Japanese pop culture isn't blowing up in Japan. And I see the reverse of that too. Sometimes in Japan, there is a huge subculture of like people in Japan that really are obsessed with 1970s to 1980s American mainstream cinema. It's really interesting. You'll see that in Amimura. You'll see that all around Harajuku. It's really interesting. They'll have like just 1980s, 1970s like obscure film poster T-shirts selling for like a lot of money, and people like really going all in on them. I don't know much about it because, to be quite honest, I can't afford most of those products. They'll be like selling a denim jacket from like the 70s, and it's like vintage American denim, and you can see like they have like seams. The way that the seam is made, they like haven't made the seam that way since the 70s or something. I don't know, just a wild, wild, cool thing. Anyway, it's cool how like different countries, subcultures can like suddenly pop off in other countries' cultures. I like that. I think globalism is just fun and exciting, just across the board, and it's to be appreciated. But it's wild, you know. Irvin says, "Yeah, 1980s media was badass." Yeah, no, I agree. It was a crazy time. I watched like a documentary about how so many directors have pulled most of their obscure and abstract references from like 80s movies that they grew up with and stuff that just left an impression on them that they haven't felt an impression on them since then. So they're trying to recreate it. A lot of my recent favorite directors, and especially horror film directors, have drawn on that, which I really have enjoyed. Like Mike Flanagan, when they made Haunting on a Hill House and such, was inspired by a lot of like 80s exploitation horror films and stuff. User 2269, thanks for the gifts. Anyway, I got on a tangent. Gotta watch out. Otherwise, I talk too much about random ass cinema stuff that nobody follows me for. I'm going to Japan for a while for my work. I know basic Japanese, but is it worth it to learn more? Great, great question. I would say across the board, if you know basic Japanese, you are golden. I wouldn't stress about learning more, but I think it's always more fun. At that stage, I remember when I knew basic Japanese. I don't know how you are as an individual, but I had like a strange mental barrier where I would feel nervous about speaking it. I would just start speaking as much as possible is the only advice I would have at that point. I made so many friends just approaching people speaking Japanese and stuff like that, and so many people were so supportive. So if this is unneeded advice, then you got it. I think you're fine. Points. I always do say that I did arrive in Japan knowing absolute zero Japanese, and I picked it up quickly because I was taking classes and of immersion. There's also no better time to improve your Japanese skill, probably needless to say, than when you are in Japan. Just, studying a couple extra phrases daily. I think if you use a new phrase like spur of the moment within conversation 2 or 3 times, it really is solidified inside your mind as something that you can recall quickly and just draw upon for further use. So that's what I gotta say from that. Sorry, I read came and then I said it. Eek. Ooh, I gotta have some food. Irvin says Transformers came out in the 80s. I did not know that. That's interesting. I gotta look into that. I've also, being like a huge nerd like I am, have been reading into like the history of a lot of Japanese sci-fi and how Transformers and like Astro Boy and stuff really did in like Star Wars. All these iconic pop culture movies did like inspire each other in and out of like the 80s and the 70s, in and out of Japan and stuff like that. All the way since like post-war World War II, recovering Japan. It's really interesting. I'm not going to talk too much about it now because I am going to talk so much about it soon once I can like quote all the dates and everything correctly. But it's really interesting. And they had like Ashita no Joe, like Tomorrow's Joe. They had like wild communist propaganda like in a subculture of 1960s and 70s manga, which is such a weird, wild thing. And they like invented all these forms of like very aggressive protest, like the snake dance and stuff, wearing like manga symbols like Joe on their, it was like a boxing manga. Anyway, wild, wild stuff. It sounds too abstract if I just keep pulling random facts about it off the top of my head. Anyway, Joshua, welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Says, if I was to visit for 2 weeks, how much money should I bring? We just did the calculation, so I'm gonna say 3K should do you solid. But if you want to ball out for some nights in the VIP section of the club or get some more expensive, maybe collectible souvenirs, 4K will be a solid way to go. However, that does not really include a plane ticket, just because, again, a plane ticket from LAX you can get for sometimes $500 to $800. But then yesterday, just reading the comments of my last video, plane tickets from like Texas, the Midwest, the East Coast can go from like $1,000 to over $2,000, and that just changes the whole budget. But yeah, that's what I got to say about that. And I'm excited about your trip. I'll be doing more videos about budgeting. Check out today's video too, by the way, about cheap budgeting techniques for like places to stay and accommodations, Let's see. Irvin says, Inuyasha, yo, one of my all-time faves. I'm glad. I like your taste. You say, how is China? China blew me away. I cannot wait to make more content about China. Just like the vast spectacle of the cityscapes, of the natural beauty of the mountains. Zhangjiajie, where they filmed Avatar, where they based the Avatar world out of, was more stunning than I would have ever imagined just watching James Cameron's Avatar. Bosco, thanks for the gifts. Is that the Bosco, the dog Bosco? I'm very confused. with what's going on now. If that is what I'm thinking. If that was a weird coincidence, my family's dog is named Bosco, and that dog looks like the icon. It can't be a coincidence. But Bosco, thank you for joining my TikTok live. Anyway, blew me away. It was actually like a really um interesting parallel to when I first went to Japan because I was very quickly reminded about how it was to be traveling and living. Hey Trev, thanks for the gift, the cat. Cheers. Again, the generosity means more to me than you know, helping support my travels and all that. But yeah, it reminded me of all in like visual, like in like a in sorry, it really reminded me in a lot of detail about how it was not learning the language because I didn't understand Mandarin Chinese at all, about just like the very day-to-day barriers and also like yeah, barriers you could face without learning a language. I will say though that China also has a dramatic lack of English menus, English resources in the big cities compared to Tokyo. Tokyo, again, I always say like from the airport, you'll have a lot of English speaking attendants at the information desks and English announcements on the trains and stuff like that. They did have some English announcements on the major trains in China in a heavy English accent, like British English accent, which was very interesting to me too. But yeah, it blew me away. The food was really good. There was a lot of spicy food. I keep bringing this up, but like the Szechuan pepper spice is such a unique sensation of spiciness where it's almost like a numbing sensation. I always said it was like a tingly sensation. So that was really good, if not quite intense. I'll go on about it even more. But yeah, just wild, wild, crazy. Can't wait to go back. Drew says, can you rent in Japan if you're a U.S. citizen? Yeah, you can actually own property in Japan if you are a U.S. citizen. You can rent very easily. It's never been an issue for me to rent there, especially compared to renting anything in Los Angeles. It's very affordable. I've met with like very, very helpful landlords and such and agencies, real estate agents. I don't know of other restrictions. I do know they're very strict about if you do own property, it's very difficult for you to rent it out as a non-citizen. That's the main thing I know. But yeah, you can rent and own property. That's all I gotta say. Gabrielle says root beer is the best soda. That's a wild. That must be the most hot take of the entire evening. I can see eye to eye with that statement. Growing up, I would definitely agree with you. But I don't know if I've really just sat down and ordered a root beer to enjoy by myself for years. Maybe to my detriment, but yeah, I don't like a big sugary drink recently in the past like 5 years or so. If I drink a big non-diet soda, I just feel kind of sticky. I don't like it so much. And I will say I don't like diet root beer. I like a real root beer, maybe with some like, yeah, but I don't like diet root beer. I like a diet soda. I like a diet Coke or a diet Pepsi. But yeah, a root beer is pretty good. I don't know about the best soda. I will say that like a diet cherry soda is a Diet's cherry Coca-Cola is pretty up there. Who knows though? Also, fun fact, not that I have to have everything on brand with my content, but what is it called? Root beer is hard to find in Japan. Root beer, everyone thinks it's like such an American thing. They have, like themed restaurants. Like imagine they have like the sushi shop in just like downtown LA or something. They have like American restaurants, like a pizza or something, and they'll advertise up front like we have real American root beer, and then they have like A&W on top or something, or what is it, like Bargs or something. The silent battle between those two legends of root beer, pillars of the root beer legacy. Yeah, Trev talking to Irvin. Sorry, I know what I was saying. I know he was inspired by Japanese movies. It's okay to communicate to others there. My colleague who are going to know a lot more, so it's helpful to know. Yeah, if you go with somebody, if you make any friends or whatever, then it's such a great way to just have a translator. Usually I am the friend that's the translator in Japan, so it was nice having other people do that for me in China, to be honest. But heck yeah, man, it sounds like you're gonna have a trip and a half. And again, like I arrived knowing zero Japanese and I had a blast and a half. So if you go there knowing some already and with colleagues that will help you translate, then you're set, my friend. You are golden to go. Victoria says, I love your shirt. Thank you, boss. This was a gift from Target, nonetheless. I keep saying that. It's just a happy surprise, Dot says, thank you. That is helpful. I was actually nervous to feel I just have basic Japanese. It was good. Yeah, no, 100%. I think I actually hear most people that go to Japan, I've heard this just from talking to people about this forever on TikTok, as well as being there. Most people don't know almost any Japanese when they go. So really a lot of points, and I know a lot of people will have mad respect for you in Japan too for putting in the time and effort to learn the language before you go there. I know after that I always try to learn a bit of the language before I go someplace. Although that was an epic failure when I went to China, but what can you do? Tonal languages are just not my forte, you know? Off the Trav says Star Wars is not Japanese. Yes. What are we talking about here? Uh, Thank you. That is helpful. I was actually oh no, man. I really think that's fantastic. Okay, I'm refreshing the comments. I do have to go soon, you guys. I might jump back on to stream, trying to stream my editing process because I think that can be kind of fun, but we'll see, you know? Guten Pronkin 19 says, what do those in Japan think of Americans in general? All in caps, you ask that. Anything that surprised you? Let's see. So yeah, one like big impression that a lot of Japanese people have of Americans, and this I swear this probably comes from Disney, is that we're very like gentlemanly, like holding the door open for people, like going out of our way to like open the door for people. I know there are other ways of being like polite, but being like outwardly, forwardly polite and friendly, of like waving to strangers on the street. That's like people's image of like in California, just like saying hi to every stranger, to going and starting random conversations with people. Very open, very friendly. I think that's pretty accurate. Other things, uh, everyone in Japan thinks Americans eat so much, and that comes directly from the fact that when anyone comes to visit America, if you order the large size, it's I have it. Look at the large size. I'm so American. I know this. I ordered a large size diet soda today, and that's right here. Else large size in Japan is like it's so small. So that's people are blown away by that. So that's another thing. We have like just large sizes of everything. Other things that people think about Americans as wild individualistic, especially business culture between Japan and America. Very much like just yeah, individualistic. For within business, it's think for yourself, be innovative, as opposed to like being not that they're mutually exclusive, but being wild innovative as a member of a company is much more advantageous within America, whereas in Japan, it's being a strong, supportive member of the team is much more like advantageous to a future and longevity within a company. So those are like some generalizations I'd say that a lot of Japanese people have of American culture, mainly within business, because that's where I learned a lot of these things. But I think it's very fun to recognize those things. Oh, also firearms. People, we just have that image of, bang, bang, bang all the time. Brem says, how is Japan when you're traveling with a big group of people? Good question. I am not that familiar with this, except for cost effective with Airbnb. I would look, this goes directly into the last video I posted. If all you want to leave a comment on that video, it means a ton to me. Also, I don't know. It's difficult for public transportation because if you're on a packed train and if you're with a group of more than 4 or 5, sometimes with school clubs and stuff like that, when I have been doing this, not the whole group won't be able to fit onto the same train. So you either have to take 2 separate trains, which has its own difficulties, or you got to wait until the trains are less crowded. That's one difficulty. But again, if you rent with Airbnb, they have like full houses all across Tokyo, where if you have like 4 to 6 people, you can probably end up each paying like, if some of you are cool to sleep on the couches, you can end up each paying like $30 a night for like a really, really nice house, depending on like if you all can sleep on some futons and share rooms and all that. So it can be cost effective. Also, I will say, this is a given. I cover this in my last video. Also, Japan is oftentimes, as far as just basic infrastructure goes, much smaller than most places in the West. So, oftentimes, most of my favorite restaurants might not be able to accommodate a lot of larger groups, so it is worth looking for places where you can make a reservation. For like an izakaya, for example, I would recommend going to Torikizoku. That's where I know you can make reservations in English for larger groups of places, of larger groups like and tables and stuff. And those restaurants are in every major city too. So I hope that's helpful. Remy, number 2 gifter, thank you for everything you say. From my experience, Japanese people think root beer tastes like cough medicine. I've heard that too. That's so funny. Yeah, no, I'm trying. I don't know how that is, because I had that same conversation. Do you guys know how some people think cilantro tastes like shampoo or soap? I feel like that's another very dividing, polarizing flavor. Like cilantro, pakuchi, I think you call it in Japanese. Some people like hate it. I very much love it. The people that don't like it think it tastes like soap. And I think same with root beer. I've heard that people that don't like it think it tastes like medicine, and people that do like it, it's it's a very earthy. I don't know how it just you'd like it. It's a fun thing. But yeah, I could see that actually. It is a heavy flavor. Oh my God, the cream soda. James is coming in hot with the cream soda out of left field. Yeah, that might be a winner actually. God, okay, cream soda takes the cake. I will say that I will take cream soda over root beer. I'll also contest that diet cream soda also sounds disgusting. I don't think I would jump on board with diet cream soda. I'm gonna stick with Diet Coke. Diet Coke, Diet Pepsi, just they did whatever they had to do with that and they made it right. But cream soda, I'll go to bat for cream soda. If I'm gonna have a mixed drink, cream soda and whiskey just sounds fantastic. It's Friday night, you guys. Let's have a wild one. Drew says, "Can you rent in?" Oh, I got that one. Refreshing the comments. I do have to go soon, you guys. Thank you for the patience. If I missed any comments and questions, don't hesitate to ask twice. And dang, we have 4,000.4 likes. You guys are so awesome. Thanks. Dimitri says, "Do you work in Japan?" Yes, I do. I work in media in Japan for an agency that sponsored a work visa for about a year. However, I do have to get that renewed. And now my work has sent me recently to China for about 2 months, as well as getting me jobs in Los Angeles. But primarily, I will be based in Tokyo. And then Bram says, "Awesome. Thank you. Absolutely." Again, aside from being in university, I have very few experiences traveling with larger groups. In university, I would do, and I love this, some of my all-time favorite Japan experiences of my whole life. Traveling with my school clubs for the summer trips, Natsugashiku. So this is like when my school club would go, we'd all take a ferry together to the beach. We'd rent a small cabin on the beach, hang out there. We do the same thing with my K-On club, which is like a light music band club. We would go up into the mountains and rent out like a whole hotel. Such fun times. I just can't even, I don't know how to describe them. I want to make TikTok content about this, but I can't quite capture the atmosphere because I didn't take as many videos then, but I might at some point. Who knows? Yeah, but so anyway, then you have the option of like traveling in big groups, like renting out a room in a ferry or just renting out a whole bus. We did that a couple times too. Also, times with big groups, it's worth it in renting like a car if one of you guys gets an international driver's license. Again, just because the biggest issue I've had with big groups is trains and buses during rush hour. Y'all might not be on the same car, might not be in the same train even. But yeah, it should be fun, the more the merrier oftentimes. Also has the work-life balance. I love it working in media. There is one big difference, work-life balance in Japan. They really do expect a social scene to be tied in with work a lot. Like a lot of people, your boss will often invite you out to go with dinner and drinks after work, and you often are expected to go. Now, they will almost always pay for that, to be honest, which is great. I like it. But if you don't want to chill with your boss after work, that can often feel kind of like confining. It can feel like a little bit forced. And that is a big complaint I hear about it. I know Japan is often really, especially corporate Japan, is really famous for overwork. I think that's a bit overhyped. I think it does happen, but there is intense legislation against overwork. I think it still does happen, but not as much as a lot of Americans believe it is because of some people's experiences having having to work overtime or having like a very kind of isolating experience with their jobs in Japan. I love it though. I think it's great. Granted, I do work in media, and even with my very corporate clients, I do think they are a bit more liberal with my time, Good question though. Says, "Do you recommend anywhere to go in Tokyo?" One of the things I'm looking forward to is to explore. Yes. Let's throw down some of my more low-key Tokyo recommendations. If you like pop culture or like games or anime, I recommend Ikebukuro. It's less kind of like openly and outward like nerdy as Akihabara, which I think is kind of cool. Like they have a pretty solid nightlife scene, which is kind of nice. They have the Capcom Cafe, but it's also like within a whole building of very cool like trending cafes, which is pretty sick. It's kind of nice. And they have like the biggest anime store in the world, I'm pretty sure, with an 8-story, maybe 9-story anime shop. And then I say this all the time, so sorry if it's repetitive, but they have like constant weekly cosplaying events outside of it every weekend. So that's really cool. Also check out Sunshine City there. I also like Gotanda for some kind of like more personal nightlife. Now watch out because there is a spot in Gotanda by the station that is more seedy nightlife. So enjoy that if you want to, but that's not what I'm recommending. Gotanda has a much more kind of like personal under the track, I would say artisan lounge, not clubbing really, but lounge bar kind of scene, which I think is very cool. Same with Ueno. Ueno has almost like a retro nightlife scene, which is kind of fun. Between Ueno and Asakusa, look for Happy Street. It's very, very cool too for kind of like chill nightlife. Go meet some awesome salarymen having drinks after work or something like that. Is what I gotta say for all that. Zero says, how'd you land that job? Over just like, I would say it was a work of attrition. I just reached out to so many media companies and agencies in Tokyo, in China, all throughout places that had offices in China. I ended up getting that job through a media convention, which is essentially where a lot of up and coming media related agencies, studios, and production companies would have like booths, kind of like a job fair. And then I would go around with my resume printed out with English and Japanese and like QR codes that would lead to a Google Drive link to my reel and my photography work. And then just kind of connect with them too. I think a face-to-face connection goes so above and beyond when it comes to just getting work. And then I didn't even have certification for the Japanese language that was required at the time, but my spoken Japanese was much better than my written Japanese. So I think I just introduced myself in Japanese and had a conversation in Japanese, and it got me a job with an agency I still often work with to this day. Remy says, Surge Soda slapped. I wonder why they took it off the market. Surge Soda, I feel like, is an urban legend. Let me look into this. I remember it, but I don't remember also why it disappeared or when. If I see an image of it, it's gonna bring back like some vivid memories of it. Yeah, Surge is crazy. I feel like Surge is like just a cultural staple of, I don't even know when, but I just remember it being big with like a couple people in school that were like a little bit older than me, and they would be drinking it on Friday after school when they're off to go rent some video games from Blockbuster, I think, something like that. Wild times it was. Dimitri says, damn, well, Godspeed in China, man. Cheers, appreciate that, boss. I will have a blast. I will be back sometime next year. Again, I don't understand a single thing in Mandarin Chinese, but I still had a blast. Really, really fun. Just, again, the infrastructure there is stunning. So many cities have like so many just light up buildings and stuff. I was reading a little bit and learning a little bit about why that is. The government does not the federal government, the local government does often sponsors construction of larger hotels and clear the permits for them if they promise to have like elaborate light shows and stuff connected to them. So interesting stuff, but also, yeah, just I don't know much about China enough as much as I know about traveling Japan. I hope to at some point. It'd be super cool. We'll see, Let's see. I'm gonna refresh the comments in a second. Cub says Kurt Cobain was my hero before he himself. That's the most random thing I've ever heard. But heck yeah, were you like a big fan of Nirvana before that, when that band was active, or why did that come up? Brem says, how is Japan when you were traveling with a big group? I got that. Let's see. ... says, interesting. I'll be sure to visit their areas. Thanks for the ideas. You got it. Yeah, I want to make some more videos about like where to travel in Tokyo that are kind of like underground. Of course, like the big areas would be Shinjuku, Kabukicho, Shibuya with the Shibuya Scramble. Awesome places without a doubt. Probably also Roppongi. Roppongi has a big scene for like expatriates and foreigners and travelers for nightlife. Arguably more expensive and rowdy nightlife. It's really fun too, but like there are so many really cool low-key spots also in Tokyo that I recommend. And then also Odaiba. I think Remy also, yeah, Odaiba comes up too. Not for nightlife, but just for like a man-made island in the middle of Tokyo Bay. That is just generally a cool place. Irvin says, are there more Japanese people in Los Angeles since it's closer to Japan compared to the rest of the US? I don't know if that is the reason, but there is a big Japanese population in LA. We have Little Tokyo right in downtown by the art district. I don't know why, and I don't know the stats about comparing it to other big cities. But yeah, definitely. Actually, that might be the case. Yeah, I think a lot of how immigration works is how like different ports grant different citizenships and visas to different citizens of other countries at different periods of time. And yeah, that might be one of the reasons. But yeah, absolutely. I just don't know, to be honest. Batman says, Wes, all in caps, what's up? Welcome. Hope you're doing well. Love your energy as always, and hope you're having a fun Friday night. I have to go soon, but I'm glad to catch you here while I'm here. Interesting. I'll be sure to. Oh, yeah, absolutely. You got it. Let's see. John says, "Oh man, I went clubbing Ikebukuro in September. Many fun nights. I am so glad. And look at you going to Ikebukuro, one of the more low key places I love. You know how to find the fun nightlife spots. Cheers, boss. I hope you had a honestly blast. That's really cool. Nice. And I hope you get to go back again soon. And let me know if you wanna like share any of your experiences too, because I also don't mention this as much as I should, but I learned so many cool things from people in chat here about like travel tips, about locations and destinations I should be checking out personally, and about just generally random things too. So if you want to share your experiences, I'm always here to learn. And I love how I can like pick up different experiences through the lens of different different people's. Yeah, everyone sees a different country in a different way, so I'm always curious how other people experience the same things that I have, you know, and what their takeaways are. First in the comments, Urban says in New York City, I'd say a Japanese person every now and then randomly. Yeah, maybe more in LA then. I feel like there's larger like minority groups of like people from European countries in New York, but I don't really know for sure, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know about that. I haven't spent nearly as much time in New York, if that's where you're from, as I would have liked. I have a really cool cousin that lived there. I went to visit them twice, and I did one job in New York. Super fun, super expensive, but super worth it. And I do, as much as I love Los Angeles, I swear I have to make some LA love posts at some point because I feel like I just throw shade on LA so much. But you guys had awesome nightlife. I like New York nightlife a little bit better than LA nightlife. I feel like there was more walkability, and you guys had like places open past 2 a.m., which was really cool. But I will say, Tokyo nightlife has spoiled me, I think, to the core. Batman with the Christmas tree, cheers. Does Lululemon still join the live? Oh man, I missed the old gang. Look at you all talking about the past. I have not seen Lululemon in a hot second, but I did see her back on here recently. Yes, she changed her username at some point. Wow, I'm getting nostalgic about TikTok lives over the past 3 years. Can you all believe how long it's been since I started this account on this app? What a wild time it has been, and hopefully to many more years to come. What a relevant topic to find myself on when we are approaching the new year, and when I say that I'm about to log off. Thank you guys for the gifts. Thank you guys for the generosity. And look at that, 4.7 likes. Very fun. Let's meet again here in, what is this? Hello 2024. This oh wow, hello. Cool, set live goals. This is something I don't know about. Anyway, I'll be going live again sometime this weekend. Margarita says, hi Wes, what's up? I'm glad I got to see you here before I head out. Urban says, well, next time I see ya. Absolutely. And yeah, I'll be going live tomorrow if I can. But who knows, it'll be a bit of a busy weekend, because I will actually for once be going out and doing some fun things. Not that it's not fun, like staying home and editing all the time and doing work, but you know, there's more to life than that every now and then. And cheers. I hope you all have the best end of 2023. I know it's been a year of so many different things, as all of them are. But yeah, I have the best feeling about 2024. You know, Urban says, well, till next time. See ya. Yes. And cheers, you guys. Thanks for dropping in and saying hi, Margarita. I'll be live again soon. ... says, I appreciate all the advice. See ya next time. And I hope I can mention my experience in Japan. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I would love that. I love hearing about other people's experiences too. Everyone, last shout out. Feel free to comment on my last video. It means more to me than you know. It's helpful to boost it through people's algorithms as well, which always helps me as a creator. And Samuel says, hey Wes, you're awesome. Hey, what's up? Thank you for dropping by. Green Friday David said, love you, bro. Mad love back. Thank you all for the positivity and cheers. I like this time going live. I think I will be going live this time more so and more so. But again, I might be live again soon. Just not exactly doing all of this, just editing because I got also TikTok Live on my desktop, which I will be experimenting with. Green says, "Hey, cheers." Batman says, "Are you still doing the movie stream?" I haven't in a long time, but Guitar, my admin on Discord, was just here. Everyone was talking about a movie stream I used to do every Friday night on Discord. If y'all want to check out the Discord server, it is linked in the bio. Welcome to it. And no, I haven't done that for a bit, but I would love to again. I always would like to be more active on Discord, but you know, sometimes you just got to take these things step by step. And as of now, I'm focusing on just creating content for, uh, you know, TikTok short form content as well as creating longer format content. It's been so much fun recently, so I will be doing more of that. Samuel says, "Are you in Japan or US?" I'm back in the States now. I'll drop back by Southern California for the holidays. Again, I'm sorry if this sounds repetitive, but you can't take for granted how many, you know, the finite number of family parties you have during your lifetime for the holidays. So I realized that I don't want to miss any more. You know, I had blasts. I had phenomenal times at Christmas in Japan many times over. So now it's time to spend the New Year, the holiday with old friends and family. So cheers. Samuel says, starting to plan my travel for 2025, March or April. Heck yes, I love that. Again, that is my favorite time to travel. Right in the center of Sakura season, Hanami season. Hopefully you get to enjoy the cherry blossoms blooming. It's been a while since I have really like done research into the best spots to check out the cherry blossoms, but I know Uno Park is up there for sure. Kawadamachi in Kyoto, if you get to check out that place, it is so stunningly sharp. And let's see. That's all I got for you all there. Travel safe, you guys. Thank you for checking out my content. Thanks for all the gifts and everything. It's above and beyond fantastic. Thank you for 4.9K likes on this. Very fun. And I'll be going live again soon. That's all. Peace. Oh, okay. I forgot I was still streaming on YouTube. Thank God I did not do anything wild. So see you all also on YouTube. I did upload a new YouTube video today, and I will also be doing so tomorrow. And yeah, I'll be working a lot more on my longer format content within YouTube. So thank you all.